probably about the midway point actually. So let's go ahead and do a recap here. We'll let off some armies. We got some raiding fucks here. Yeah, this seems like a good spot. All right, welcome back again to the episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, and especially advanced battlefield command and tactics. And we remain dedicated recently to this Aserai campaign. We are late game campaign here, and let's give you a little update, right? We went north. We devastated wide swaths of Sturgeon territory. Now they're already resieging, but I have a plan for that. But I want to show you this because I'm probably not going to show you a lot of the last couple months. I don't know how far the breaks will be between the episode here, so I might be a little redundant. Now the Aserai are in the middle of the map. In the south, though, we have a problem, right? We have the Valandians again inundating Aserai territory all the way to Medini Castle. In fact, Quasaira and Iacus, I won't be surprised if either one of those are lit up soon. Now, it really is Valandia's world, right? And the rest of us are just playing in it. They have by far the largest kingdom in this campaign, and they really have had so the whole game. Now, Battania, we've had a new development with Battania, which I'll show you in a moment. But essentially, old Caladog has finally declared war on us. He's gotten into his head that he wants some of Wazuban, even though, of course, Corraine is with us, right? We have his sister. That happened a while ago, but of course, I'm not sure I'm going to have an update on this angry Caladog finally coming for us. It's pretty amazing. He's still alive at this stage, right? He's 70 years old. Even his daughter is getting up there in age. But nevertheless, that's probably a new development from the last episode. This will be also, we've created one more player clan. I'm going to do one more player clan beyond this one. And this gal, the Old Guard, she quite literally is the Old Guard, right? This gal has been with us from almost the very first episode, right? So we finally decided to give her a clan, 4 total clans now, and it's time to put those armies to work. Now, I want to go south and bitch slap the Valandians, but I can't just afford our north being ravaged again, right? So, all these armies here, we're going to release some of these. Now, these guys should form an army. I might release them 1 or 2 more armies here before I head south, but my goal is to get 2 armies because I'm worried about this area here. Battania just declared war recently, and I don't want to leave our back door, or our side door in this case, open. So I don't want to release all of our companions either because I've talked about this before, I don't want our companions forming a huge army. So we will just release a few here and hope they form an army. And then what we're going to do is release a few more companions and hope they also form an army. We want 2 armies, hopefully, to go defend against the Sturgeons in the north, and another one ostensibly to protect the homeland here in the center. Now, they're not forming an army, which is just nothing you can do about that, right? They have all of the resources and ingredients to do it. They're just being obstinate. And there's an RNG element in this, right? You're just hoping and praying. Well, there's Quasaira, right? I was just mentioning that. The Valandian steamroller continues in the south. Here we go. They finally made an army. So Matunis is gathering an army. That's good, right? I don't know if he'll make it on time to get to Epinosa Castle, but at least it's a semblance and the starting of a defense, right? Now we'll see how large his army is here. I want it to be about 1,000. In fact, almost exactly. Rarely does the AI do exactly what you want. But in this case, even though it took a little bit there, this guy's made an army. Of course, we'll power up his little influence here to make sure all of a sudden he can't command the army anymore. And now we're going to release the rest of these guys, right? There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 armies there. And if I release... Who else can I release? Let's see. We can release a couple more of these armies here. I want to keep the core, and I'll explain that in a second. But I think we can release these 3, and that should still be enough to go down south and whoop up on the... okay, instantly they're forming an army this time. So they've gotten the message. We finally are able to get some dance moves here synchronized with the AI. And now we have 2 sizable armies, hopefully, you never know, but hopefully going to defend the homeland. That'll free us up to go south and give the Valandians a whipping. And perfect, right? It's almost 1,000 for both armies. It's possible if the Battanians attack that we'll be able to defend the center of the map here and the northern part of the map. Right now, there's no guarantees. There's always a chance it doesn't work. I should mention that gal's a new character. I'll talk a little bit more about characters here. And either at the end of this episode or maybe the next one, we will do a little character update because it has been literally a couple of years, I think, since we've really shown our characters much. Of course, besides Wazuban. All right, so they're heading north. It's kind of a race to see if they can get there. We have a companion army that's with him. Janolf the Grizzled used to be our crossbow captain. We have a new crossbow captain leveling up, and that's because Janolf the Grizzled is probably going to be our next and final clan leader. I'm hoping to have 5. We'll recruit all of these troops and simply dump them in the garrison. Sometimes these cities aren't recruiting them, and I want them to, right? Now, a lot of times they'll just disband them, but I have so much money. We have like more money than Amazon, more money than God. It doesn't really matter. Even if they disband them, I want these troops available for these kingdoms, right? So we'll go ahead and dump, 20 troops into their garrison. And also I gotta show you the money situation has gotten absurd. The troops we have are elite, and we picked up this gal too. By the way, I'll try to just give you little snapshots of changes that have been made in the last 2 months. I'll probably do some redundant shit, and some stuff I'll probably forget just because I don't know exactly what I'm going to include in this episode. This gal with the crazy eyes is also in our clan. She's our current scout. So the gang's all here, or most of the gang is here. At least this is the core of the gang, and we have an incredibly elite army. All right, let's do some trade here. Let's show you the money situation. Okay, there's not very much money here. There's 51,000 dinars, and there's nothing really to buy. At this stage, we're only buying elite, like legendary or lordly gear and stuff like that pops up. And watch this shit. Look at this shit. Instantly, we just sell some of our trinkets here, and suddenly the town, we can buy almost all of their shit if we want, any food we want. We virtually have unlimited money because we have so much loot. At this stage, we can't even get close to selling all our loot, right? I've actually had a couple of dumping sessions where I literally just dumped loot out into the netherworld. Because we have so much loot. We have unlimited money. The money amount is really only limited to the fact that the cities rarely have more than a couple 100,000. Now, all of our armies are at work, right? So, lovely. That's amazing. That's called efficiency right there. We're not really worried about villages being raided. Although these guys will defend villages too, we want them to defend castles. I'll be keeping an eye on them. But of course, we're across the continent, across the whole map here. Man, we have all these troops available. We have been recruiting troops all the way going south here, and our armies are overloaded, right? We are literally stuffed to the gills here. After, I should talk campaign strategy, after smashing whatever's attacking Quasira here, we're going to head west, right? We're going to just start ripping the land back from Valandia like a fucking hungry lion, tearing away the fucking... We got a sandstorm here? Looks like it's dissipating, like a hungry lion tearing the carcass away from the other animals. We're gonna wrestle this land back from Valandia. Odrissa Castle is being sieged. Vladiv Castle. So those guys have their work cut out for them, even though it's being defended by Zandina's party. I don't know who that is. That's very interesting. I don't have any idea what that means. Maybe that's that might be an Aserai force attacking, that's nice. They're attacking them outside our castle. Our guys are reporting, hey, there's Aserai forces slamming the fucking sturgeons here outside our castle. That's always sweet. Now, we are not fully allied with the Aserai, but ever since Guzid gave us peace, paid us for peace, we've been at peace. Damn, we didn't quite make it. All of a sudden, the defense has collapsed. Usually that happens if the attacking force is uber powerful. And I imagine these Valandians are uber powerful, right? That's what happens with the strengthened AI mod when when no one attacks and destroys their force for so long. So these stupid assholes, of course, they're sieging castles and whatnot. They're not gonna play any defense, evidently. But at least we've put them in a position to win, right? We put them in a position. Now there's a huge force here at Quasira. I want to show you this. I almost mentioned it earlier. Wazuban is level 44, right? So he gets an extra point. And I had a little dilemma in my head of where to spend it, right? I could put it on control or I could put it on vigor. Control boosts his throwing, which is nice, right? He'd be doing even more damage with javelins. But because it affects two-handed, polearm, and one-handed, it's kind of a no-brainer to put it on vigor. Now, everything else is kind of where we want it to be. The only thing I might consider is trade, right? Plus 30% carrying capacity. And I'm not going to waste attribute points on these skills, right? Cunning and social. I've said from virtually day one of this campaign that we were going to basically punt is like one of the terms people use for it, where you're just going to ignore them or give up on them, right? The football term. And that's what we're going to do. Now look at this shit. speaking of beautiful, look at this, right? This is one of our healing companions. She is toting around a large army. And now, I think the cap after 9 intelligence with 5 perk points, and look at this too, she gets endurance. I think it's 316 or 314 or something medicine skills. So she's going to have very strong troops, and she's with our army, right? When you add the 2 of them, it's actually the 3 of them because we have another healer army. Do a few more perks here. He gets up to 10 in all the categories. But if you add up all our healer armors, we have like 800 troops that have lots of extra hit points. And it's enough so that I'm definitely comfortable sieging here. We could try for different targets, but this is one of those situations. I have all the Valandians right here, right? They think they're defending, but what they are is they're trapped, right? We're gonna fucking come. Look at how the force they have too. 373 banner knights, 192 sharpshooters. That was stupid. Look at me, just look how strong that is. 58 knights. Basically, their whole army is tier 5, maybe some tier 4s at the bottom, but that's fine, right? Because we have a juggernaut army as well, and this is what I wanted from the Strength and AI mod. This I need to mention. I don't think I'm going to include that episode where we got this. This came from a small battle, actually, a Master Romphalia. However, for this battle, of course, we're not going to use a pole arm, so we'll go with 3 javelin tranches. Better sit up in my seat here, right? This is a Juggernaut Valandian force. You just never know if you're going to lose one of these and, of course, have a major setback. Now, I think we would retreat well before we were captured, right? We would not just get captured here, but it would be a damage to our big damage to our campaign if it stalled us out that long. I mean, look at their power bar. They're significantly stronger and a larger force than us. And you just hope. At this stage, I can't even go look and watch those armies other than this little menu here, right? It says they're actually tag teaming to siege a castle. I guess that's not the worst thing because they should be able to take that castle quickly, but I sure wish they'd fucking play defense, which is what I told these stupid fucks to do on the diplomacy page. And look at these troops, right? There you see a closer look at their troops. You can go ahead and pause it and look. I'm not going to hold that for like 2 minutes for you fellas, but these armies are absolutely stacked, right? 32 banner knights, 71 sharpshooters, 80 banner knights, 47. It's basically Bannerlord on hell mode, but that's how we want it, right? Because we're employing all our different tactics. We have a savage army, so we want to fight incredibly powerful foes here, right? This is like the guys who play, what is it, Diablo, where there's a hell mode and all of the enemies are just brutally tough. Like, you know, if the game's too easy for you, you make it harder, and that's what we've done in this campaign. It should make for more epic battles too, right? Instead of cities being defended by a bunch of fucking peasants with pitchforks, now there's a whole bunch of armored knights and banner knights and fucking fiend champs and sharpshooters all over the walls. It makes for a much more picturesque and epic campaign, which of course is precisely why we did this for this Aserai campaign. You're basically watching as hard of a campaign as you can have, unless you choose to do things like run around naked or only use bandits or something like that, right? For a traditional style campaign, this is the maximum difficulty, or at least approaching the maximum difficulty. I guess you could make it harder. All right, these guys actually are doing pretty well in siege here. I anticipated being able to start this siege quickly, but I want to get this fire catapult down. At least the main fire catapult. All right, one cat's down. Let's see if we can get the other one. No, they're going to have this cat up. So this is, you know, the jockeying you do beforehand. These enemy lords have really strong siege skills, and so oftentimes you get this little siege joust before the main event. A slight delay here. Apologies for this slight delay, but they're building siege quickly, and of course, as usual, my dipshit catapult guys are attacking the walls when I don't care about the walls, right? In fact, I don't mind at all if they have walls, because we are going to build our own onagers and blast them off the fucking walls, right? These fucking walls here are in the right condition for us now. We've got some fireballs, and we're gonna flame the shit out of whoever tries to defend the walls. Basically, the proposition to the Valandians is you're gonna give us the walls, or we're going to kill every single last one of you, and we're gonna do it with fucking flaming explosives. All right. Nice big tier 3 walls, I think those are. It's a beautiful city here. We're taking it though, right? We've got 1, 2 catapults here perfectly lined up to shoot there. We've got some trebuchets to pound the rest of their troops. And now we'll be strategic with our troops here, right? Let's put them some reserve divisions, because this is Epic Siege, right? This is 2,000 something defenders and they're elite units. This is not something you can just F1, F3 and hope you win, or put the sergeants in charge. We'll probably lose. We're going to have to use our head here. So I'm going to have a couple reserve divisions where we intentionally save their ammunition for later in the battle, right? I'll probably start with the first, second, third, and fourth, maybe the fifth. We're going to have at least 4 divisions on hold fire and holding back also. I'm going to keep them away from the wall so they don't get shot in case the enemy had a siege weapon I didn't see, like a ballista. We'll keep them out of harm's way. So I'll put them here in the rear with the gear. And let's do the 5th, 7th, and 8th, and we'll just tell them to hold fire. And I know that now for the rest of this battle. Those guys are back here. Those guys are safe. These guys are in my fucking way. They're so safe. And the rest of us will do the dirty work, at least to start, right? Let's get the infantry moved up here. Let's blast a hole. The siege tower we know is going to take longer. And what I want these men is menacing and threatening to come up these ladders. I'll probably even send one of these divisions up there so we can blow the shit out of the enemy, right? Like I said before, out of my way, dude. We're basically going to... My horse is in the way here. It's like going to interrupt the guy trying to reload the catapult. Come on, man, you miss me or something? This horse has got separation disorder. This guy reloading the catapult's like trying to reach around the horse. It's a horse reach around. And here we go, right? Here come the troops up to the main wall. We'll do one shot here to calibrate. It already looks like it's calibrated pretty well. And look at the soon-to-be dead Valandians going straight to where we're about to shoot, right? This is going to be a siege disaster for the Valandians. They have no counter siege and just a gigantic kaboom. We're going to blow up a lot of Valandians here. We got our reserve units dutifully holding back. Our shock troops and whatnot are charging the walls. And we're going to blast the shit out of this side of the Valandians. Now, some casualties are going to happen here. Allied casualties, right? I don't know how that one went over. I didn't change anything. Although I think there is a little variability, a tiny variability to each shot with the trebuchet or onager. Because it was dialed in, and there we go, right? Just the whole screen. In fact, the other guy over there, we tag team circle jerk, destroyed all of the defenders there. Just raining fucking death. And the Valandians they're in a bind here. If they don't defend the walls, we're going to get a huge amount of troops on the walls. If they do defend the walls, they're going to get exploded en masse. Now, the siege tower is working its way over there on the left. That's why we're focused on the ladders. Might as well kill these guys, right? If they're lined up hundreds deep, and they really do look like they're lined up hundreds deep. It says 80, and then there's some troops behind them. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 100 guys right on the walls there. Apply a little bit more pressure here with our units as we basically force the Valandians into a decision, right? The AI is trying to work it out. I might be able to hit that other side too. We might get 150 siege kills in this battle. Of course, we're going to pressure the enemy at all 3 points. A lot of times the enemy in a battle like this will put 1,000 troops at the gate. Well, and there we finally get some friendly fire. But to quote, what is it, Longshanks from Braveheart, you know, his advisor's like, "Sir, you want us to shoot the catapult? Won't we hit our own troops?" And he's like, "Yes, but we'll hit theirs as well. Attack." You know, he's like, "We have reserves." And I'm thinking of the guys behind me. Attack. I mean, we outnumber them, or at least... Well, actually, I guess we don't outnumber them, so we can't afford to have a 1-to-1 kill ratio. But the point is that some casualties here are just fine. Now the siege tower arrived. Unfortunately, these dipshits, when I said charge, most of them are running to the siege tower. That is definitely suboptimal. Although I think we can dial in these bitches guarding the siege tower too. Come on, baby. Oh, baby, the first shot just fills the screen, so we can just click here and run the RTS mode to save you time. I'm just going to rain down some holy hell on this side. I think that one actually went over the walls, but it's not going to matter, right? We are dialed in. Our troops are now assaulting both sides. There's another catapult over here adding to the carnage, and Wazuban has his sieging shoes on today. We've got our other divisions here, and... You know, I'm just going to be patient here. This is going to be a 20-minute siege, half hour, maybe 45-minute siege. I've had 1 hour siege assault before with normal player damage, right? If you get enough defenders, obviously they defend for a long time, and we're still killing just gigantic waves of all tier 5 and 6 units. Look at this shit. Legionnaire, fucking Elite Cataphract, Banner Knight. There's another big pack of them piled up there on the walls here again. So just Wazuban is just going to, collect massive EXP. And when guys ask, how do you get level 50 or 55, or how do you get your companions to level 30? This is how. We're not only we're fighting huge battles on a regular basis against massively difficult foes, but we're causing mass death to high level foes, right? It's the higher the level of the foe, the more EXP you get, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. Now, where'd my horse go? Where'd I park my car? I always forget. All right, we'll call these reserve divisions up, right? These guys have been back there. I can actually hear them. Come on, General, let us in there. So we're going to march up to the gates. It's still ugly. Look at the death spam, right? The Valandians are fighting like wolves, and these assholes here, we're going to have to kill some of you stupid fucks. Of course, I know that makes no difference, but I figure a little RPG. We're going to rule by fear here, since these stupid asshole bugged units won't get up that ladder. We'll kill a few guys and simulate that they had to be terrorized into climbing. Now, I'm actually going to use these 3 units here of ranged units, 5th, 7th, and 8th. We're going to use them to help us get up these ladders, right? The enemy continues to defend, continues, in fact, to shove our ladders off, motherfucker. So Wazuban's going up, right? We're going to lead the way here. Fuck these fucking enemies. Wazuban has already blown up 100 or 200 troops. Now he's going to slice and dice and man his troops up from the walls. Now the 5th, 7th, and 8th have cover support, right? This is like having aerial superiority. Our units down there are going to scorch everything that we're fighting, right? There's going to be javelins and arrows and crossbow bolts pounding the enemy as we fight here. All right, let's see what this shit looks like. What it looks like is a giant pile of dead bodies, and here comes a bunch of sturgeon archers, right? These guys are trying to basically defend this area. Fuck no, right? Let's block them with the square here. We're going to basically put a bunch of infantry in a shield wall square, shield wall, same thing, right in front of those guys. That way they're basically going to block them from blocking us, right? Because I want the access here. I want these ladders open. That way we can get the 5th, 7th, 8th, 6th, 12th, 28th, 34th, all the divisions onto the ramparts. These guys down here are pounding the enemy. Look at all the throwing axes, scorching the Valandians. And now this 5th Corps can be told to attack, right? These guys can start getting aggressive as we move up the rest of our units. Push a hole, boys. Are you guys really that weak? Wazuban has to do it all? I mean, they are, of course, elite units. I see they got cons guards and sharpshooters in there. But we got more guys right at this stage. The walls are ours. This is our fucking keep, bitches. Out of our way. The 7th Corps can be added to our artillery barrage over here. Unfortunately, more of the troops are starting to head towards the siege tower. I think they're doing that because that's where the threat is. And so the AI is like, oh, our closest point between A and B, where unfortunately, that's not how this castle siege is going to be won. We're not going to be able just to barrel up that siege tower because the enemy's defending it still. We have a breach here. I wish I could say, 500 troops come up this ladder, but the faulty parts of the system, you just have to do your best to work around. Let's see what this shit looks like. Look how many guys are bottled up on our siege tower. So, the enemy is vigorously guarding the gate. When guys come through, I see them just getting slaughtered over there. So, we are going to try to basically assault that from the flank. Instead of just trying to go through the front door, we're going to use the postern door here, right? We're going to basically attack the enemy from the flanks. Admittedly, the enemy's definitely going to counterattack us, right? You're going to get down here where these guys are starting to assemble. In fact, here they come. It's going to be the spot of a lot of violence, right? There's going to be reinforcements coming. The enemy may even have random troops pop out of nowhere and just in huge zergs, and it'll probably be back and forth, a little seesaw battle. So to support them, right, now that we have the walls are ours. Let's put archers on our own walls, right? How beautiful. We're on the enemy's own walls, right? Let's take their defenses from them. These guys come roaring forward. The 8th Corps is charging, right? So there's axemen in there coming up and swinging away. And we've got ourselves an old-fashioned courtyard brawl here, only we're the ones with the support, right? The enemy doesn't have a lot of archer support. We smoked a lot of it. Wazuban cutting apart guys here. Shit, this is all enemy troops storming this direction. This is what I was talking about, right? There's gonna be a lot of enemy troops here. That's ours. I could just barely see that that guy was ours. Fire away there, Mr. Fiend Champ. This is the most Fiend Champs we've had in this campaign. We're approaching 50 in our army. Right now, it's taken us a long time. We're getting a prisoner here. Holy shit, look at this Zerg. I'm going to have to retreat. In fact, the enemy sent like 150 elite troops this way, and we don't have enough troops yet on the ramparts. This is exactly what I was just talking about, right? We're going to have to bail out of here. Oh shit, I'm fucking gonna get slashed. Man, there's elite armor for you. I have like the best shoulder piece in the game, and that guy hit me for 12. Now I got all kinds of perks and a reduced melee attack damage banner. It's basically as tricked out as a character can be, but that's amazing. And an elite Manavliaton earlier in this campaign would have done like 70 or 100 or something like that. And of course that is the difference of elite armor, perks, etc. I like, for this type of a siege, I like reduced melee damage, 15% reduced melee damage, right? We've got 2 or 3 other perks that reduces melee damage, and there's going to be lots of melee, right? We're going to be shot at too, but as you can see, most of this combat is hand-to-hand. Now I'm going to set up a little defense zone here because it really does seem like the enemy is the one rushing us, and you don't want to lose this puncture, right? It's vital that we maintain control over these ladders. So anytime the enemy surges at us, you're going to see me have a tendency to pull back to these ladders as we continue to defend our spot here where the reinforcements are coming up. That said, I'm not going to sit here and just wait 5 minutes while the rest of our troops fight. We will be jockeying in between. And this is what a real siege looks like. Like I strongly recommend players out there give these big sieges a try. Think about all the tactical opportunities that are available here, because to me, this is, in some ways, it's more exhilarating than an open field battle. It's certainly more dynamic, right? You've got all these choices. You can put archers on the walls. Do you put skirmishers on the walls? Do you put an infantry block on the walls? Do you charge? Do you build up a defense force before you assault, or do you just do the trickle attack like we're doing here? There's an amazing amount of choices, and choices in a game like this usually are stimulating to the player. Now, unfortunately, again, all of the reinforcements are bottling up on that siege tower, and that's certainly frustrating a lot of my plans here. I have about half the troops I want sort of stacking up here. So, we're going to work with what we have, but that's not going to make this any easier. The game engine is designed really well to handle all of this shit going on. However, the pathfinding definitely starts to get a little bit haywire. And of course, in a siege like this, where the game is being pressed as hard as it can be pressed, sometimes it's going to have a problem, right? Sometimes it's not going to operate state of the art. Now here, this is just a maelstrom, right? The enemy's got troops right at the entrance there. This siege may go on a while. I want to try to preserve my health. So we're just going to continue to rally troops. We'll attack them from down here in the courtyard. And basically anywhere we have an advantage, we'll try to take advantage of it. We will try to use it, right? There's some terrible commentary for you. Anywhere we have an advantage, we will take it. All right. So I've got some shock troops here. Let's get these boys into action, right? The 8th Corps. Kill them all. Charge. They'll assist the archers and blow a hole. Now, some of them are going to go run off. They'll do dipshit stuff. But obviously, we're trying to puncture and make a puncture here in the city. Punch a hole, really, to give our archers and other troops space to fight. So we want these units charging. We don't have much to work with here. This is like 60 guys, but at least they're all elite troops. I see some of our high-end companions here. And it's a beautiful thing, right? The enemy has tough troops. There's all kinds of carnage on the walls over there. Eventually, I want to try to blow open a hole on that siege tower because, of course, if we can free that siege tower, we're going to be able to get a lot more troops up here. A lot more troops able to fight. There's a massive force at the gate, so we can't get any troops through the gate. They're defending it like fucking rabid dogs, but we might be able to free this siege tower. In fact, we are going to free this siege tower. Although, look at the defense force that came up. That was all elite troops. Unfortunately, I forgot I was dragging these archers, so I'm going to bring these guys back here. Unfortunately, I'm getting UI issues as well, right? I'm getting a urinary infection. All right. Come over here, archers. I need you guys positioned right about there. Look at, she's shooting and stop, right? Now, oh shit, here comes a huge enemy reinforcement wave. Charge, right? We can't let our forces be cut off here. Can't see shit. and into battle we go, right? You want some carnage and epic battles? Here we go. I got plenty of javelins still, so we're going to be able to make use of those. And it's a giant fucking scrum. Now again, we have the archer support here. If anybody's being shot right now, well, I mean, they might be shooting us a little bit, but most of the shooting is being done by our troops. That's why the death spam looks like that. Now, it's not super clean, right? It's a fucking messy situation, and we're badly outnumbered. The enemy has most of the troops here because these stupid fucks are getting stuck on this siege tower. Trying to get them in here, but it's hell getting them up a siege tower that's being defended, or that's either bugged, and of course the gate is totally fucked. I mean, when I look over at the gate, there's 700 enemies over there. But we're making some fucking hay over here. We're finally starting to get to some mid-tier troops, right? Not all these guys are elite, although as soon as I say that, it's fucking wildling, other elite troops. But we're slowly winning the war of attrition here. Now they're blowing us out of this position, and I need reinforcements here bad. I don't know why they're not getting here. These guys are available. In fact, let's pull these guys over here. They can help guard this stairway here. I got fucks holding the stairway. Archers are out of arrows here. This is a pain in the ass, right? I have to just charge with them. And the enemy's flooding that siege tower again. Oh, shit. Well, there you go, Argyle. That means victory is certain. I have a long-time subscriber who says as long as we kill one of our own troops in a battle, victory is certain. Well, there you go, right? So there, I just spoiled the suspense. We're going to win this battle. Thanks, Argyle. Hey, get some archers up over to this left side. Of course, they're not obeying my commands because they're all bugged out on that siege tower over there. Just is what it is, right? There are faults with the game, and that's a clear one of them here. The system is simply not able to handle what I want it to do, right? I want those troops to go use the fucking the ladders instead of the siege tower, and it refuses. I'm gonna push you right, kick you right off the fucking edge here, dude. Look at them. These Vlandians are zerging this siege tower. I mean, they are defending vigorously. They're also dying vigorously. Dying quickly. And now they're being shot. You can see the javelins hitting them from our courtyard, guys. It's beautiful. I got the spice vendor gal. She's up here wailing away. She's got like 40 weapon skill. You gotta love seeing that shit. Look at this pitiful. That's all the troops that were able to get sort of unleashed or unbugged from that big mass. It gave me like 30 dudes. But look at the guys down there proudly carrying their fucking standard. Love it. There's like 12 guys with blood spattered all over them, fighting like wolves. This is our fucking castle, motherfucker. Okay, they do have a lot of sharpshooters by the gate, so we gotta watch our line of sight there. But let's fucking fight for this shit. Fuck you guys. And then all of a sudden, it's just a huge flush of red, right, as we get scorched over here. It's a fucking chaotic battle. Get up here, motherfuckers. I'm desperately trying to get these reinforcements to come up here, but it just looks like a fucking Walmart Zerg stuck on this siege tower. It might be better if the siege tower was destroyed. I don't know if I can damage the siege tower myself, other than javelins, maybe? But I don't have enough, right? I got one more for you bitches. Alright, let's just rally forces here. At least here we're out of sight. We'll be out of line of sight. There's still guys down there in the courtyard fighting, but those guys aren't going to be able to break through. It's 20 on 9,000 down there. I got to get these guys up the siege tower. That's all there is to it, right? That's the solution here. I've got tons of troops. They're just not accessible, right? There's a giant horde down there. Evidently, they can't get through the gate. Either they're bugged or won't go through the gate. Look at this Fian champ smoking, guys. Love it. There's 30 or 40 over there. Guys are getting shot up here, so I gotta be careful. I got so much health. This is amazing. I've just been able to avoid it. Now, of course, usually I try not to say that because that's like you know, the old Murphy's Law. You take a javelin for 126 and you're down to a fraction. Get the fuck out of my way. This guy fucking getting... I can't move for some reason. Wazuban is too big for the fucking game. He gets stuck. What's going on over here? Is this where the rest of their troops are? They are. Look at them all packed up over there. It's 9,000 crossbow. In fact, let's pull away from that shit. Those guys are going to get scorched. Stay away from that. There's 9,000 crossbow. Let's not enter their line of sight. I think this is the answer over here, right? We're just going to have to fight with what we have. The ladders over there, unfortunately, are completely unused. The UI is just... the AI and the UI and the fuck UI. Everything is all fucked up here. We're just going to try to brood it out with what we have because 800 troops can't get into the city except that siege tower. It is what it is. If we lose this siege, I'm going to be pretty pissed. But it is what it is. Let's get these bitches charging. Try to fucking free... Oh shit, that guy must have got hit pretty hard. He got launched. Speaking of hitting guys hard, right? Let's get in here and fucking wield this two-handed axe. We're gaining skill points. It's been a while since Wazuban gained skill points in two-handed, right? He's been capped for like fucking 15 or 20 episodes. Fuck, I don't remember when I hit 288. It was a long time ago, though. Now he can get to, you know, the low 300s maybe. I'm not sure what the number is, but now that he's got that extra attribute point, he's got more points. Oh, you bitch. Hit me right in the neck. I'm trying to get that door free. Basically, blow a hole with that door. If we can assault the guys defending the door, maybe we can get more troops through the front gate. But honestly, at this stage, I think it's bugged. The gate is open. The units are just stuck on the siege tower. So it's one of those situations where we really are being fucked by the game here, but we don't care. We'll take on all the difficulty. You can make it as hard as you want. You can even cheat, Tail Worlds. You can make our units bugged. We're fucking taking this city. And we're winning this fucking campaign. Yeah, look at these bitches, 3 at a time. There's 80,000 troops here. Let's just see if we can manually control them. Come through the gate, bitches. Oh shit, now the enemy's retaking the gate. Oh shit, all our forces are killed here. I'm alone. Oh shit, getting shot. All these guys are shooting at me, motherfuckers. The enemy has archers on the walls now. All of our units are stuck on one siege tower, and the enemy defensive units seem to be doing just fine. They're not having any problems, are they? I see an enemy lord there attacking our 5 troops or whatever. Look at these archers. You motherfuckers trying to sneak up on me? I'll tear your limbs. Well, my guy doesn't say it enough. Maybe I'll just say it once in a while. You guys are like, dude, cringe. Don't yell. All right. We got 12 guys here. They got 80,000 charge, right? Fuck it. Oh, well. I'm probably going to get dropped. These scenarios here, you know, when you're getting fucked by the UI this bad, or the AI or whatever, some AI, something I, it usually doesn't go well. I got one guy with a flag getting smoked in the head by archers. I'm all alone. Actually, it's the 2 of us. It's me and this one archer. We gotta get troops up this fucking siege tower. What a frustrating fucking... Oh, well, at least it's a siege that we're going to win. I get smoked on the walls, and I have half a mind just to fucking F1, F3. Look at these guys are exiting the keep. Do not exit, you fucking pussies. Fucking pull back. Look at, they refuse to follow my orders. Nothing you do makes these guys do anything. Stupid fucks. They don't follow me. They don't fall back. They just all stuck on the siege tower. And of course, this is what drives people crazy. Actually, this episode perfectly encapsulates Bannerlord. It's an amazing game, and at the same time will frustrate you into no end, right? Like, the only reason this siege isn't over is because of this bug. Our units are stuck on that siege tower, and nothing I do will fix it, right? I can't get them to come off. When I order them off, they don't do anything. When I tell them to retreat, they don't do anything. When I tell them to charge, they come up the siege towers, like 12 at a time. But they're unable to disengage. Meanwhile, the enemy's defenses doesn't seem to have any problems getting 80,000 troops to where they want to. And of course, I get cut down or shot down or whatever. And I think let's just do... I'm not going to fucking suffer more fucking shit here. In fact, these are the situations I might just edit this shit out. and you'll just see the siege is completed. Charge, right? We'll do a little RTS mode here. That might be all the units we have, too. This is crazy. We really could lose this siege because they just can't seem to get up that siege tower. Oh, that's all we needed. We just needed the siege tower to be destroyed. And look, they actually do what I wanted them to, which is storm the gates. So you whine like a bitch enough, and some tail worlds, I'll tear your limbs. Look at it, instantly they just blasted the gate open. I was trying to get them to do that like 5 minutes ago. All right, well, we win. And I had to whine like a bitch first, but a victory is victory, right? And that was a gnarly siege assault. I don't think I will edit that last part. We'll just roll with it, right? Because at least you guys got to see a pretty gnarly extended siege assault against a very powerful opponent. We'll probably have more. Right, these Valandians are hardly done yet. I think that said plus 354 to morale, which is LOL. I guess our morale is going to be good for a while. Yeah, plus 345 morale. The numbers are off the charts because we're fighting off the charts enemies, right? You're just never going to face this kind of an army in vanilla Bannerlord. Never. Not at the end game, never. All right, we'll do some upgrades here. And I think, let's see how we'll do this. I'm going to take all these prisoners and sell them. I want actually some Valandian prisoners because I want some sharpshooters. I actually want to conquer Valandia with their own troops. So we get some decent loot here. And I like these little breaks. Hopefully you guys don't mind these. We're going to take, I mean, again, for you guys, it'll be almost undeterminable, undetectable. We're going to do a 5-minute break here. I'm going to sell some prisoners, and then we will be right back. Do wonder, of course, you know, if Valandia is going to mount a major defense down here. I mean, the bottom line, of course, is that Valandia is facing other threats, right? That's one of the things that happens when your kingdom gets so big. It's difficult to defend it. And apart from a few token defenses down here, they really haven't put up too much of a fight. Of course, our army is just trucking through almost everything at this stage of the campaign. And we're going to try to make a broad loop here. I'll do a little update. In fact, let's go ahead and just do this. Welcome back again to the episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. And almost on cue. Okay, this guy's creating an army, and we have a real battle potentially looming here. This guy's up north doing some defense. Hopefully he's doing some defense. We have swept through Valandian territory. More accurately, we have taken the Aserai territory back from Valandia. And apart from a couple smaller battles here, we have 2 significant sized armies. They'll probably run from us. It's a pretty strong army, but our army is a juggernaut. And there you go. That shows you how strong we are. Although I don't want to get caught by everybody all at once here. So let's see. What do we do here? Let's track this guy down first. I don't mind fighting these armies in detail. That term refers to fighting armies one at a time. We're going to destroy these guys, and then we'll turn our wrath on the Western Empire. We sucked in one of the smaller armies here. That's fine as well. And, you know, the power bar says it's a 50-50 chance of us winning, right? So you guys know the chance of us winning here is 99%. We've got another glorious fucking sunshine, sunset, something or other, sun something or other. It's beautiful colors. And we're going to do some savage tactics here. We haven't really had an open field battle in quite some time, right? We had that siege. Was that Quasira? That was about an hour ago. I don't know if I'm gonna show you guys a lot of the recordings from the last hour plus, right? It's been just basically one continuous rout of Valandian territory, or former Aserai, now currently, I guess it's former Valandia territory as well, as we've taken back our homeland. I'm gonna make my way all the way around, unless we get stopped by some, you know, unstoppable force, right? Our force right now is the unstoppable force. The tables have been turned now in Valandia. Instead of at the beginning and middle parts of this campaign, where every time we fought Valandia, didn't matter who was in charge of our army, we lost. Now it's the other way around, right? Now we have an extraordinarily powerful, well-oiled machine of war here. So I'm not going to go through all the formations every battle anymore, right? We've done that the first 45, 50 episodes of this campaign. I will talk about the tactics as we're moving units around here, right? We will always be moving units dynamically. And I just have these 8 units set up like this because I have learned to use these units in a wide variety of scenarios and a wide variety of different situations depending on what the enemy does. So right away, of course, we're going to seize this hill and this valley because you always want to do a peekaboo ridge anytime the enemy will offer it to you. Reverse slope decline is the other term for it. Of course, you're basically putting a hill between you and the enemy. And what that does is it forces them, oh shit, it forces them, if they want to approach you, to come over that ridge and get smoked. That's a noble. That's one of their nobles that's charging into our backfield at 300 miles an hour. She probably has 300 riding skill, right? We're seeing superhero... not companions, enemy lords at this stage of the campaign, and there are some that are edited way beyond what you can naturally achieve in Bannerlord as well. We are going to run into them, especially as we fight more and more Valandia units, right? There is 7 or 8 ultra uber Valandian lords. That'll be interesting to match up against Wazuban here. All right, so we're gonna have to adjust tactics here because obviously the enemy's not coming. They're not attacking, right? Here in this battle, we attacked them, although it kind of seemed like they attacked us. The initiative is everything, right? The way they're sitting back like that tells you that we have to get aggressive here, so we're going to do that. But we're not just going to charge headlong, right? We're going to use our head. We're going to use distractionary forces as shield walls. We're going to spread our archers out, and we're going to start to fan them out to get flanking action on the enemy. The other thing we'll do, too, is as we're closing in units for the kill, we will do major disruptions of their plans with our own units, right? With cavalry, we will bring infantry up. I might even square it and just shove it in their mouth like a big fucking... what are those things? Fucking... They're an awful cereal from my youth. They're called, like, shredded something of wheat. Apologies if that's your favorite cereal. I wasn't a huge fan. We'll just put it that way. We're gonna, you know, you're gonna elicit some opinions when you watch a, oh shit, that fucking guy drilled me in the chest. But hey, you know, that's what an elite armor plate does for you. It's but a flesh wound, my lord. Bring it. Come get some more, right? Like that's how Wazuban is acting these days. His stats and skills are maxed out, virtually maxed out. He has a decreased melee taken, maximum melee taken damage banner. In other words, we take basically the least amount of melee damage in the whole game is occurring right now to Wazuban. That's how you can take a Banner Knight spear to the chest and shake your finger no at him. Say, bring more. All right, all we're going to do here, this is a variety of shield and shock, right? We're going to do shield and archers, right? We're going to bring archers, horse archers, and jav cav in on the enemy flank. Shield walls in the front, of course, because a lot of their archers will naturally target them, and also some arrows intended for our archers will hit shields, right? They're trying to shoot our horse archers, and it's hitting armored horses. Is systematically move these guys in, right? One of the things I used to say a lot in the channel, haven't said for a while, is static enemies are dead enemies. Here they're not moving at all. They should be wildly adjusting to what we're doing, and they don't. So we're going to make them pay for that, right? They're going to pay a very hefty price. Now we have this masterwork Rumfi. I'm still never going to pronounce it right. You know, my Latin E pluribus unum was never terrific. E2 Brutus. We are going to be using this, but man, it's fast, right? It's so fast. It's actually, it's taken me a long time to get used to. It feels like a cheat code. This masterwork Rumfi. That's what I'll just call it, a Rumfi. It sounds like a fucking exotic breed of a house cat or something like that. This thing is incredibly fast, and it still one-shots high-end units, right? Just chopping apart Banner Knights. We've got companions gaining levels here, and almost, well, there was a good example. Almost every shot is going to kill the enemy. Now, the enemy infantry's down here attacking us, but this isn't the threat. The threat is their cavalry as the infantry wails away on me. The main threat here is their cavalry, but more important, their huge amount of archers. Now, we got the 6th Corps onto the side here to exterminate their archers. And these guys are basically going to bore in. You see this line of cavalry here. We're going to drive this right through the enemy, right? We're basically going to make it so that every single archer here has a giant smelly horse right in his face. And by the time by the time the enemy's done dealing with them all these cavalry, our shock troops will have arrived, right? I see him slowly coming over, and of course our archers are working there's a lot going on to the enemy archers right now, and none of it is good. You can see how fast this weapon is. I can literally swing it, miss, still swing it, and guys don't have much of a counter to it. It looks like a lot of our infantry actually got cut down on the way in here. This is just a huge amount of archers. And of course, every single unit is ultra high end. Every guy here is tier 5, tier 6, maybe a couple of tier 4s mixed in. It's a very powerful army. And this is beautiful, right? We have a powerful army, but the enemy does too, right? We are fighting elite armies, full of Fiend champs and sharpshooters, and it's a scrum, right? Even though the screen is mostly green, this is a hard-won fight. Oh, shit. I just got fucking smoked. Somebody hit me right in the face. We got a considerably slower character here, but that's going to happen from time to time against elite units. You know, all jokes aside about Wazuban, you know, he's a beast, but he's still mortal. And we do have the Death for All mod cranked up, right? It is cranked up so that lords on both sides, ours and theirs, including Wazuban, his family members, are going to suffer death in battle at a much higher rate. I mean, 10 times the normal rate. So we'll see how much of a factor that is in this campaign. Now, at this stage, there's a little F1, F3 going on. The enemy's bringing up infantry reinforcements, but they're just bringing them up sort of piecemeal. The traditional enemy strategy, once they lose their main vanguard, is just to send all of their units F1, F3. And so we will do the same, right? No need to do fancy tactics here. They don't have any archers, so they're just going to come right at us anyways. And most importantly, not only do we have a numerical advantage, but we have a strength of unit advantage, right? They're attacking us with tier 3 guys, and this fucking battle is over. Don't bring a bicycle to a NASCAR race. You guys get smoked. It's actually kind of nice once in a while, of course, assuming that Wazuban doesn't get killed, to control these other characters, because people ask me all the time, how do you level up companions? This is actually a pretty good way to do it, right? Because you're going to, for sure, achieve more kills using your units than the AI will, right? You're going to be intelligent. You're going to be moving around quickly, dicing guys up left and right. And of course, when you get 10, 20, 30 kills, these characters, these companions, these family members just rack up the skill points. Another beautiful battleground, and of course it's always beautiful when you have a 7-to-1 kill ratio. Very tough army, but disposed of in a hurry here, as our juggernaut army here just trucks through the realm. A couple of those sieges were similar to this, but you know, it's very likely that I'm not going to edit, that I'm not going to include those. We will just skip. So you will probably see something like the siege of Quasaira, maybe one of the other sieges, maybe the siege of Barihal. And then this is the next battle you're going to see, right? I'll probably keep that just because there were some tactically interesting things that happened there. And it's always nice when the character goes down, right? Sometimes, so I think people root for Wazuban to get knocked off his horse, right? This guy, he's a little bit like Lance Armstrong. You know, you're a little bit suspect, and then he wins every fucking time for 8 years in a row. You're almost rooting for the other guys. All right, trying to escape here mostly for the light. We're definitely not running from this guy. I'm trying to give you guys nice daylight for battles. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it here. I can move a little bit. We've been assailed here by a guy from the sorority. This 15-year-old put a helmet on and said, "Let's go. I'm ready to fight today." It's always interesting when you see these baby-faced lords who are probably 18, right? That's what's going on. He's super young, and they look 18, right? The girls look like they're 15. There have been some times where there's like female lords where I'm like, show me your ID. Shouldn't you be on fucking Facebook Reels shaking your butt, making millions instead? Shouldn't you be allowing big corporations essentially to be corporate pedophiles? I don't think you should be a battle leader. Go shake your butt somewhere, which is something I make jokes about, but it's a highly distressing thing that is occurring. Almost no age verification. They just let fucking girls basically shake their butt, encourage predators. Yeah. This is unsavory is the word we like to use for that shit. Making billions off of that. All right, enough of my rant here. We'll do some rants from time to time, but I also don't want to sound like a total curmudgeon fucking grumpy old man sack of shit fucking grouch. You guys aren't here just to listen to me fucking rant about, the shit that's fucked up about the world. Although maybe a few of you are, we're not going to overwhelm the majority of you. Just trying to watch a little Bannerlord here, right? Just trying to see some tactics, see an advanced difficult campaign and how an experienced player deals with it. You're not here to listen to me berate Facebook. And if you are, we'll give you small doses. All right. So, horse archers coming in here. Good night, right? These guys are going to get 80,000 arrows. This is actually okay, because I can see okay. I almost got shot off my mount again. Man, I'm feeling quite mortal all of a sudden. They're tier 5 horse archers, of course. Oh, shit. I fucking got us all bottled up here. This is the easiest way to die in the game. You get stuck, and your cavalry themselves are in your own way. Usually the best thing to do there is charge, but I don't want all my other units to charge. All right, so we're going to use a peekaboo ridge here, right? This time the enemy is complying, and that is because they attacked us. Now, what does that also tell you? That they attacked us? Even though we have almost the same amount of troops as them, they have an elite army. They think they can win, just barely outnumbering us. Given how strong our army is, that means their army is basically maxed. Their whole army is tier 5, tier 6, maybe a few tier 4. And that's what it looks like, right? I see all kinds of elite cataphracts. But we've got a peekaboo ridge, right? So good night. They're going to get shredded. I'm just turning this down just a little bit. I apologize for these adjustments here. I turned the wrong one there. I don't want the big super bright orbs above our head. I like the lower lighting one. I do recognize that sometimes it makes it a little harder to see what's going on, but I'll do my best to tell you guys what's going on, right? Classic peekaboo ridge. We've got a very strong line of infantry and cavalry there holding the ridge while the rest of our archers and jav cav work, right? These guys are throwing javelins. The archers positioned on this hill can't really be attacked or shot until the enemy comes over that ridge, and by the time they do, it's Fire Arrow City. I mean, look behind me. It's just flaming arrows coming out like it's special effects, something out of Universal Studios or something. And the death spam concurs with the action here, right? It's a flaming, murdering assailment here by our archers. I can barely kill anybody. They're getting killed so fast. And you just hold this ridge, right? If the enemy's dumb enough to keep beating people into this, as they often are, they're just completely massacred. Now, we're also going to ride these down with cavalry. Anytime we're in a situation like this where they lose their infantry support, ride them down. Don't let these archers reform. Just come in here with your own guys and say, come get some. You bitches fucking wanted to get over the ridge. Ain't happening. Now, you want to be careful, of course, how much you pursue here. We're going to pursue, but it's going to be a measured pursuit, right? I'm keeping an eye on reinforcements. I'm seeing if 500 other archers are coming over the ridge and shooting, and we're at that point, right? As soon as you see that, a bunch of cavalry, you peel the fuck out. Most of these tactics at this stage, I would imagine the majority of the people watching, you guys have gotten it all. This has been, a very, very challenging, long campaign. But the key word is long. We must have 100 battles of significant size in this campaign where, at this stage, a lot of the tactics I'm demonstrating, you can rinse and repeat. Of course, there are plenty of battles where the situations are unique or we're fighting under unique circumstances. But especially when we have this full juggernaut army, and it is highly mixed, right? This is not an archer-only army. We've got a huge amount of infantry and a lot of jav-cav. Admittedly, not a lot of horse archers. I'm not a big fan of the Aserai horse archers, and maybe I'll get to talking about that at some point. But the tactics here, these are universal. You can use the reverse slope defense. Oh, now you're going to play defense. The enemy wants to play defense. So what do you do here? This is a classic thing, especially if you're learning the game, you need to understand this. They attacked us. And what I mean is, on the campaign map, they attacked us. So I have no need to go over the ridge and face their flamethrower, right? They have 80,000 archers. It's almost like the AI. This would be like real AI. It's just mirroring what we just did, right? It's got its units all set up there. Its archers on the ridge saying basically, come over, please get smoked. And obviously we're not going to. Why? Because the enemy attacked us. And that is, I'm sure the veterans are like, shut the fuck up. The less experienced players is a very important point. If they're not, if you are the one that get attacked and you have an advantage like this, just wait. Right? You don't have to wait 20 minutes. The AI will come over eventually. What they're doing right now is the AI thinks it can score a bunch of kills with this pathetic horse archer division, and they're being shredded, right? It's 8,000 arrows at them, and they're shooting like 12 in return. Now, I don't want to waste a ton of arrows on these guys because this is just jousting. In fact, I would rather cut them down myself, but I can't go over the ridge, right? And I can't send our units over the ridge, right? Because here comes 10,000 flaming arrows at me, right? The enemy's got their archers, and they're, you know, the AI doesn't have emotions, but if it did, it would be hoping that we would come at it. And we're not going to. We've got shield and shock right there. That's a line of camels. It's camel and shock. Right, we've got a whole bunch of armored camels holding their shield up with shock troops right behind them, and then we have excellent positioning here with our archers. The enemy has no chance to win in this situation, right? And patience is the key, like I said. They will eventually come to you. The AI will basically reach a trigger point where it says, well, fuck, they're not coming to us. We attacked. We have to attack. And almost on cue, here these dipshits come. They're yelling, kill them all. Their incompetent commander. Kill them all. And then they all retreat. See, the AI understands somehow that this is a bad situation, but it doesn't know how to handle it. It's kind of running back and forth. This would actually be really hard for a human opponent to handle, right? The only way you could really do it is try to swivel hard onto one of the flanks. If a human opponent was faced to attack our army in this situation, there's very, very few things they could do for success. And most of them would only ensure that they got a few kills, right? We're still going to destroy them. Our archers have just unbeatable position. There is such a thing as just a situation where you can't win. And incidentally, if we were in this situation and had to attack them, and we had like mostly archers or something like that and no cavalry, that's an example of a battle where you can't win, right? You can't just charge this flamethrower with your infantry and expect to win, right? Not unless you outnumber them or something like that. Get over here, you cowardly lord. We're going to smoke this gal here right in front of their army. Man, they're tough. Just javelins sticking out of them. That dude has like 4 javelins sticking out of him. Fortunately, the AI, or I guess it's unfortunate, it doesn't improve the AI manifestly, right? The guy's like holding his shield up while I smoke him with javelins. All right, little cav charge here on the flank. That's actually not bad, right? It's a little bit dynamic by the enemy. We simply shuffle our units that direction. The archers light up everything. I'm waiting for their main vanguard of archers. What I mean by the vanguard of archers is they don't have a lot of infantry here. They have lots of archers, and they're going to have to come over that ridge, right? They're forced to by this situation. So part of the thing I'm doing right now is I'm positioning our units so that that sharp ridge, right where that flag is up there, the enemy has to come over that, right? We're basically maneuvering and manipulating the enemy into a position where they have no choice. You know, situation again where you want to be just a little bit patient. Part of the reason I'm doing this and trying to limit our casualties here is there's more fighting to go, right? We still want to take Quayaz. We're still going to have lots of big armies to deal with in this campaign. I don't want to suffer 500 casualties here by being impatient. The other reason I'm being impatient, or the other reason I don't want a whole bunch of casualties is because I'm trying to demonstrate that to you guys. If I just F1, F3, slop, let's just do this shit, you're not really learning anything. It's not really beneficial to anybody trying to get better. Now, we are eventually going to spur the action here. We're going to start moving units onto this flank, and we're going to push forward a few units here. With the way their archers are positioned, as long as that infantry comes up in shield wall and we can get cavalry behind them, we're going to be able to truck these archers. If they were on the other ridge, I would never do this. But because they're right at the ridge where our infantry, in fact, our shock troops are just now reaching their lines, it's going to be very bad news for them. Now, I'm dragging a cav division. We positioned a cav unit and a horse archer division behind the enemy, and the rest of the units are just brought over the hill. And we're doing that for pursuit. These guys are going to be flanking and pursuit. It's going to be some casualties, though. It's 500 archers and something 150 infantry, right? Even though the enemy's swallowed up here, they're going to fight, right? These archers are not going to give up easy. This is going to be 50 or 100 deaths probably, but they're in a bad spot. Look at this shit, right? You're an archer, and that's what you're facing. It's just camels trucking through here. Behind them is fucking palace guards. They're chasing you downhill. Maybe there won't be 50 casualties. They kind of panicked. Instead of charging and trying to fight, now they're just trying to run. And there's nowhere to run to. So the screen fills with green. So that's, it's another tactic. God damn, I'm getting drilled in the face and losing horses left and right. It is what it is, though, right? Wazuban is mortal. And again, it's kind of a nice benefit, right? This guy can rack up some skill points. I swear that archer just threw himself to the ground intentionally, like a footballer trying to flop. He was like, "I'm down, don't swing at me." That was sort of interesting. I'll have to check that out on replay. But in any case, Wazuban didn't die. He didn't make. Usually they yell or they go, "Ah!" You know, if your character gets killed, there's usually an audible cue. And so ultimately, this isn't the worst thing, right? This guy can gain some skill points. I'm like looking down almost as much as I'm swinging. Of course, there's no risk here, and he's racking up two-handed skill points, right? Two-handed skill points went up. Two-handed skill points went up. It's a beautiful thing. They've actually got a little pathetic line here that's holding out, and it's admirable, but man, is it dumb, right? Talk about crash test dummy. I mean, look at this pathetic line. There's militia and imperial archers here with with our elite army just boring in on them, and it's nasty. Sometimes you gotta just you gotta enjoy the game sometimes. And this is look at their archers. They're looking straight up in the air because there's all these huge camels towering all around them. Every little tiny opening for the enemy, there's a huge spear thrusted into one of their faces, and you can hear that spear sound. That when you're getting trucked early on in a campaign. In fact, look at this guy. He's super zealous. Yeah, his face is all lit up by his arrows. He's right in our face. You know, in the early stages of Bannerlord, the middle stages when you're getting your ass kicked, these are the days you're hopeful for. These are like the summer days, you know, when you're going through the doldrums of winter. This makes a campaign worth every inch of it. Now, of course, you want to fight real challenging battles. You don't just want to truck the enemy, destroy everything, but every once in a while it's kind of nice to obliterate the enemy. I used to play all kinds of competitive sports, and I would always prefer to win, but my preference was to have mostly close matches, and just every once in a while just absolutely beat the shit out of the enemy, make them cry uncle, remember that your team is better than like any team that you've played in a while. And that's what's going on here in Bannerlord, right? We get this refresher after some hard battles. Wazuban, I have half a mind to save these villagers, but Wazuban is finally exuding more like he's reeking of confidence. We're going to siege Ortesia, head back west, and I'm looking down. I think this is probably, combined with that other siege, this is probably good for an episode here. We're going to continue our rampage here, at least until we're stopped. So if you want to see more from this campaign, it's going to get harder, I can promise you that. You want to subscribe, of course. Please leave comments and all that kind of good stuff. I appreciate you fellas. With all that said, I will see you guys next time.